Yo, what's good? What's good? Listen, I am not planning on keeping this intro long. I'm gonna turn this back down. All right, so this is what I'm gonna end up doing. So I did want to upload a tutorial, but I said, you know what? This is what we're gonna end up doing. Is just I'm gonna go live and just do whatever basically y'all want to know, because it's one thing for me to try to figure out how y'all want to have these tutorials done. So I decided to just say forget it, and I'm gonna just go live, and y'all can just stay tapped in throughout the whole entire live. So honestly, throughout this whole live, there will be no editing. If y'all happen to find anything that you learned something new that I did or interesting, just make sure that you put it down below in the timestamp. Like I said, this is gonna be another way for me to do tutorials, so then that way I can actually get feedback from y'all and be able to implement it in the videos from now on, so then y'all can start learning a lot more often. And let me see. So because of the fact that I am live, people that are gonna come back to watch this need to know what's going on, at least within like the first 30 seconds. So let me make sure my chat is up. Okay, bet. So this is what we got going on. So I'm gonna switch the screen over. Now this piece right here, it actually took me at least over maybe about a month or two, just overall. So it's a lot of different things that kind of go in towards this whole piece. So I'm gonna just let y'all listen to it for the first, I'm just let you listen to it real quick. All right, so like I said, within this whole thing, I'm gonna just go over just specifically mixing and mastering. I'm trying to just stay within the mixing and mastering lane, so I'm trying not to veer off. So if y'all got any questions, just let me know in the comments so everybody can see. But like I said, I'm gonna just go over everything the best I can. If y'all got, like I said, any type of specific questions about anything, but I'm gonna just show y'all everything. Like I said, this took me over about a month or maybe 2 months or so. So yeah, just bear with me. So what I'm gonna do is show y'all the instruments that I was using. So it's quite a few instruments for real. It's a lot of them. So mainly stuff is from Contact. I'm using a lot of one shots, even some stuff from the God of War kit. If you don't, like I said, if you don't know any of the kits or any of the sounds being used, you can go down to the description that's down below, and then you could just end up seeing some of the kits and some of these one shots, especially some of these like the euphonium, like trumpet. All of those are like mainly one shots that you can get inside the God of War kit. So the first Contact, really this one and probably these other two, are from the Contact band called the Balkan Ethnic Orchestra, using the Gypsy Romantic Violin. Is for that one. The same thing for this one. And the next one I had ended up using was the Horns of Hell. So really the horns, I like using these, bro, especially for some like real like heavy sounding type of thing. Like that's what I really like to go for anytime I'm doing stuff like this. So in a matter of knowing all of this, you do have to be mindful of the sound selection and the instruments that you are using. You don't want to just use anything and everything, and then you're going to be wondering why your stuff is my bad, my camera wasn't even on, and you're going to wonder why your stuff isn't even, it's not really blending together. So you got to be mindful of the instruments that you are using, where exactly the EQ spectrum, where they sit at within the EQ. So all of that stuff really matters. The next instrument I was using is this Mallet Flux. It's like a glockenspiel, which is a percussion instrument. And this is a one-shot euphonium. Oh, let me see something. So you got that. You have the violin. It's this little constant violin motion pad. It's just all in the matter of adding motion towards whatever you're doing. And the next thing I ended up adding was this Contact, was this fruit phrases. Now these ethnic fruit phrases is what you have to do is you have to go over here to the tune, just in case you play one of these and it doesn't sound like it's in tune. All you have to do is go to this tune and just move it up or down, until it's in the right key. It may take a little minute, but I think this starts originally in E, or it starts in D. E, A, or D. It starts in just the original key. Excuse me, Spaghetti Western. This is the trumpet that I had used. The one shot I use is straight from the care package kit. Either that, or you can get this kit from off of my Patreon. So you have different things you can do. You got different things you can use. This perk, I use this for like a ambient, like water droplets. I use it for that type of feeling. Wait a minute, let me check back. Give me like 2 seconds. Let me see something real quick. Okay, I just had to make sure that was on. So then what's good, y'all? So that was one of the perks that I was using. Here's the other one. It's the same thing, but I think I had changed the sample rate or did something with this specifically. But it's definitely the same thing. The vinyl textures, the scream, this came from TB's kit. His digital instruments one-shot kit. That's where like a lot of these sounds come from. Even the reverse talking that I had put in there, I use that a lot. So came straight from his digital one-shot kit. All of these kits are straight on the Producergrind website. Another Contact bank, still the trumpet. And from Omnisphere, I use this LA Custom C7 Cinematic. And I use this really because of the reverb that's within this within Omnisphere by itself, because it has like a real dark tone to the reverb. So I really just stick to that and do that type of stuff. So I'm gonna go to, so those are the instruments that I was using, and as you can see, it's a lot of movement and it's a lot of stuff going on within the pattern itself. Even within here, you can go to the channel volume. You can be able to tweak the volumes to however you like it. You know, all of that stuff. That's where it really all depends on. That's how you add emotion and everything towards your melodies, towards your drums, towards anything. It's, drums is the same way. Like when you're doing hi hats, you want to take your hi hats, make sure you mess with the velocities. That type of stuff makes a big difference. The next thing, so I'm gonna go back to here. So you already saw the whole channel, volumes being moved around. Same thing with dynamics. Like even using the dynamics of the velocities, these also are a good way to be able to add more emotion towards anything that you do in FL. Now, some of this stuff may seem basic to a lot of people that already been doing this for a minute, but you know, you never know too much for real. And all I had did was, so say for instance, I had saw somebody said they was having a CPU problem. The way to be able to help yourself get through that, so I know this right here, this pattern and this pattern alone took up a lot of my CPU. So what I did was I had to right click on one of the tracks. So you just right click and then you go to consolidate this track. You can do from the track start, which means the whole entire thing, or I mean not the whole thing. It's like from basically wherever the pattern starts to wherever it ends, and it's gonna bring up like the red highlighter, which means it's gonna focus strictly on whatever area is highlighted. And you can do that, or you can just consolidate it for the full song, which goes all the way from the beginning to the end. That's how you can be able to save some CPU and stuff like that. Let me see. All right, so let me go to, I'm gonna go straight over to the mixer, and I'm gonna show y'all, bro, like a lot of this stuff when it comes to mixing and mastering, all of that, like a lot of this stuff is reliable based off of the you can really just like, it's the engineer's job. It's not really much of the producer that's or the beat maker that's doing all of this. You know what I'm saying? Your job really, honestly, when it comes to me, all I really do is just level and where everything sits at. So if you have a bad time hearing what's too loud and what's too soft, because a lot of people, they start mixing and they turn their volume all the way up and it's cranking and it's blasting. So it's like you gotta be mindful of the instruments that are way too loud and some of the instruments that are way too low. So one thing I did see that was on Instagram, I think I forgot who had reposted it, but they had did a video and they said to just turn down your master all the way to maybe like 1 or 2, and whatever instruments that are still loud enough, or whatever instruments are still like you can hear and it's just way too loud over top of the mix, that is the specific instrument you want to turn down. That may be 1, 5, or 7 instruments, but make sure that everything is leveled and turned down. So that's one way you can level your stuff out. But really, on the master, all I did was use this Good Hertz, and this is really just a compressor. And the only thing I really use this for is the compression. I mean, of course, you got the lo-fi and the wow. The wow just it just makes it more wobble. It kind of adds that wobble, and then that type of feel to it. What's good, y'all? And then the lo-fi is just really just like to have like a low pass type of feel to it. I don't know, you just mess around with it, and then it just, however way you like it, that's how you end up doing it. He said put the master in mono. Nah, let me see. Nah, I ain't gonna worry about it. I ain't mess with it too much. So I'm gonna go right over here. So I use this because really it's just the I don't even think I can change, because they wanted me to put the master in mono. Oh, okay, never mind. He was just saying as far as punching through the mix. I'll put it like this. I use this in order to make all the sounds and everything that I'm using makes it more wider. So it literally goes from a mono, which is straight down the middle, and then just making it more wider, so you're doing it this way. So that's why I end up putting this up here on my master, but you don't have to necessarily put this on, like when you add in drums and stuff like that. You don't need none of this. Like the only thing you really need is a soft clipper, because if you use good instruments, if you use good drum sounds or anything, whether it's melodic sounds, drum sounds, anything, if it's already mixed down, you don't have to go into a whole bunch of detail of, oh, I need to remix this or I need to do this. Like, just leave it like it is. It's mixed down, and you know, it's done just like that for a specific reason, so you don't have to keep worrying about it. Yeah, and all I really did was turn up the width, just made it, like I said, a lot more wider. The next thing I added is the soft clipper, just to make sure it doesn't go over that that threshold. Now you can either use a soft clipper or you can use this L1 Ultra Maximizer. Excuse me. You can use either one of those. And with this maximizer, what I do is for the ceiling, I turn it down to like -0.5 or -0.3. So anything that has to go over top of it, it's not trying to fight to get over top of whatever I'm doing or whatnot. So I just leave it like it is, just put it at 3 or 5. Then this threshold, the further you turn this down, the louder it gets. The further up, then it's like, you know, it's not gonna, you don't have to worry about it. Let me put this back to where it was. You can leave everything else like it is. And Fruity Convolver. So people do not know about this sauce, bro, with the Fruity Convolver, bro. This Fruity Convolver it has its own default. All this really is just a reverb tail. That's all it does. And in all honesty, you could go right over here to the impulses, because it has its own separate library. And the library is right here on the left side, is the impulses. Now you have the chambers, you have the corridors, you have the small rooms, you got all these different reverb tails. That's really what this is, just I don't know the specific name, but this is just basically a reverb tail. And you add whatever reverb tail sounds good based off of the impact. And you're just listening for the tail, and then if it sounds good, slide it over. You know, each of those different rooms, all of those things make a difference. So you can even add some of this stuff to your guitar melody. So say if you're trying to make something and you don't have no reverb like Valhalla or anything like that, you could just take a Fruity Convolver, drag it over here to one of these inserts, bring a Fruity Convolver, and go over here and probably put like a guitar into a small room if that's what you really want to go for. So you can do that. Let me go back to, so that's really just a master. Now, when it came to the instruments itself, I didn't have to do so much, because really with Contact, they already have a lot of stuff mixed down and done for you. So really all you're doing is just adding effects to maybe either manipulate it or to really enhance it even more, but you don't necessarily have to do too much. The only reason I added like reverb and delay is to make it sound like it's in the auditorium. That's the whole point of what I was trying to do with the reverb and the delay, because within the auditorium you have a real big room, but people don't understand that it's one thing to have a big room, but the sound is bouncing off. You feel me? So that's why I'm using this the Fruity delay too, so everything can, you know, just bounce off. So the more that you actually I put it like this, you have really, I could have just took this reverb, I mean not the reverb, I could have took the delay off and the reverb would basically do it for me. But the delay is the after effect of when everything dies down, that you can still hear everything bouncing off the walls. I was real technical, because like I said, this took me like about a month or 2 months or so. So I was real technical about what I was doing and how I was doing it. But this proves to you guys that you don't need all these crazy advanced plugins and effects and stuff like this. Like, you don't necessarily need them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I do have Contact, and some of these banks is pretty pricey, but at the end of the day, you have one shots. At the end of the day, you have different you can do this stuff just with one shots, bro, and be perfectly fine. Just all in how you tweak it, how you mix it, and how you do what you do. But overall, the biggest thing I would say is just add emotion towards whatever you're doing and listen to everything that's going on. But like I said, I don't want to get too far into it. I just want to still show y'all everything that I'm using. Normally when you load this up, it has the pre-delay, the milliseconds. They have this right on 20, and then the delay, they have this on 4. So I just left this like it is, turned down the mix to like 11, and left everything else like it was. I didn't want to do too much. It already gave me the vibes. So with this, also with this Fruity delay too, I forgot to mention, is when you pan it, if you do like a real hard pan, you can end up taking the ping pong effect and making it a little bit, in my opinion, you're making it more what's the word, more clear to be able to hear between your left ear and the right ear, left ear. And I feel like it's pan more, so it's actually gonna really do the whole ping pong thing. And the biggest thing people do not do with their delays is they don't cut them. It's important to make sure that you cut your delays, man, because if you got this like all the way turned up, it's gonna constantly keep delaying after everything has stopped. The biggest thing I always tell people is anytime you're listening to something, you're mixing it down, make sure that everything cuts off at a reasonable time or a reasonable area, because you don't want everything to just like, you want everything to die down, but you still have the trumpet doing this delay throughout the ending of it. And it's like, nah, that's not what you want. So it doesn't really blend together. So that's a very vital thing. I didn't have to turn it down or whatnot like that. You know, you don't have to go into a lot of detail. Just make it, as long as it sounds good, you're pretty good to go. Did someone say mixing is easy? I'm dead. Mixing is really just a personal preference. You feel me? It's really just a very personal. It's just a personal preference and however you like stuff. But I'm just giving you guys my insight on how I did this whole piece and what, you know, effects and stuff that I use. So this is a third-party plugin. This is a baby comeback from Baby Audio. Now this, I use this a lot because of the delay. I use this in my Spanish tutorial video. If you haven't seen that, well, I guess I'm gonna just put that in the description as well for y'all to see. And you can use this for strictly just ping pong. I've used all this other stuff, but to me, I feel as though the ping pong within this delay is pretty good by itself. And all I really did was turn it down so it's not so you know, it's not so harsh or whatnot. So I just turned it down. I didn't do any other mixing, just turn down the baby comeback. Now some of these instruments are within the same exact mixer insert, like these 3 violins, these are in the same one insert, but it doesn't really make a difference. You know, you can put stuff in the same insert. Just make sure that, you know, just be mindful that you have it in the same insert when you start exporting stuff separately. So just make sure you do that. We're gonna go to number 3, which is this violin joint. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, here it is. And all I added was this pan man. Let me stop that. Yeah, so I had this pan man, went to this 2-bar. I always go to this, bro. Always go to this. And I go to this 2-bar wide slow MIDI. And all it does is makes it simple, makes it easier for me to go back in here and be able to tweak this however I wanted to. I can turn the width all the way up so it's in the left and right ear, like real harsh in the left and right ear, but not like, when I say harsh, I don't mean distorted, but like it's real intense so you can be able to hear it. The smoothness, how soft, you know, how yeah, just how soft. And really just the groove, like if you want it to be like on the shuffle, you want it to be a swing, you know, you can do that too, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. You just do what you do. And you do what you do until it sounds good. So this EQ, I do not know. Oh, okay, so these hits right here. This is this part that's right here. Oh shoot. And all I really did was kept that in its own, because there was a little few harsh parts that was in there, and some of the lows I didn't want to take out. And hopefully if y'all understand this, maybe you don't, I'm not too sure, but I'm gonna try to explain the best way I can. But anytime that you're pulling up this EQ, I think of this white line as a volume knob. And shoot, I put it like this, bro, like you can take one of these and just strictly just focus on maybe a frequency or whatever the case is, and you can be able to tweak it however you want to. But at the end of the day, you're just trying to either level out the frequencies or whatever you hear, or you're just trying to take something out. But when you take stuff out, you have to be pinpoint, I ain't gonna say pinpoint accurate, but you do have to be accurate in some way of which frequency you're taking out, because as you're taking stuff out, you're gonna end up taking other sounds out as well. So for instance, this is what I'm gonna do. Say if that frequency right there is irritating, but you may have your stuff like this. Everything right here within this range is being boosted. So now it's like you still have to find exactly where it is. So think of this shape right here as a pencil. And on this pencil, you want to be able to pinpoint exactly which frequency you want to take out. So say if this was the frequency, but I want to turn this, either turn it down or take it completely out. But if I take it out, it's going to take out other stuff too. So I'd rather just turn it down to where it's level. That's how it was. Like I said, you're just moving it to where you want to get things that's irritating the ear and just take it out. If not that, then at least just have it all on one level. But if you want to do the whole one level thing, that's when I would tell you to just go to a multi-band compressor, and you can focus on certain frequencies within that range and be able to level it out. Alright, so let's go to this insert 5. What was in insert 5? This was the bass. So the bass, oh boy. The bass, shoot, I put like this. The bass is more so I wanted to just focus on just strictly the low end, because within a lot of movies and a lot of trailers and stuff like that, you wouldn't really hear too much of the high end of the bass. Now, like I said, it's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. And they would most likely just boost up the lows and take out some of the highs, because you want to feel like the rumble of the low end. Like when you're in movies and movie theaters and you feeling like the rumbles and all that other stuff, like that's because it's a lot of low end and it's a lot of like building up in that part. But everything is within tune with each other. So nothing's in C and then something else is in a D sharp, or something's in this key. Like the rumble is because of the fact that everything is in key and everything is building up together. So that's why I just focus strictly on that low end. And that's how I ended up getting, that sound within the sub, within the bass itself. All right, so we can go to number 6 real quick. Number 6, I had, if y'all got any questions, just let me know on the, just let me know down below, and then I answer the best way I can. But just know that somebody else probably had the same question as y'all. So we're gonna go to 6 real quick. I don't even think I got anything in 6. Oh, I probably don't. It's probably the bass. Yeah, it was most likely the bass. If I had to boost up the lows and put a reverb on it, that was most likely the bass. So we're gonna go over to number 7. This was the birds chirping. That was that sound effect, which was right here. Now the birds is real subtle, so it's nothing that's supposed to be like in front, like you're supposed to hear it. But I just made it a very subtle texture by just adding a fruity reverb too, using the default one, turning down the wetness, and then just leaving. Normally I would just take the stereo separation and turn it to the left so you can hear it in stereo, or you can turn it right to put it in mono. I mean, like I said, just my opinion. I just leave it like it was, turn down the wetness, turn up the decay to like 3.5, and left everything else like it was. And in order to make it sound like it's in stereo, because this is still mono, and to kind of put it more in the background but yet still be heard, I use this fruity stereo shaper, and then turn these 2 knobs down to the middle. I put it like this. You can leave it up here, like closer right here, you'd be perfectly fine. But I just turn these down to 0 and then move these over. Really didn't have to move it too high up to like 6. You can really move this up to like 2 or 3, and it'll be perfectly fine. But all it does is just focuses on your left ear, and then focuses on your right ear. That's really all this does. the timpani. Yeah, it's gonna get placed. You feel me? That's how it is, though. If it sounds good, it's gonna get placed regardless. If it sounds good, no matter what it is, it's gonna get placed. Especially if it sounds good. Let me see. So Valhalla, all I did was went to chamber, and I went to the now instead of like the 1970s and 1980s. I just went to the preset that was now. Turned down the mix, left the pre-delay, left the decay, and turned down the mix some. For delay 2, mainly did the same thing. Pan this over to the far left. Let the volume ping pong. You know, like I said, it's not too much that you have to do. It's just a matter of, you know, just adding a little bit more elements to it and bringing it out more. That's really all you have to do. I kind of messed up right here, though. I should have put this at the top because based off of the slots that you have on the right side, it does matter. So whatever one that you want to be the main focus, that's what you have to put as the first one. So in this case, I should have put the reverb. I mean, not the reverb. I should have put the EQ as the first one. But I didn't do it, so I just left it like it was. But yes, the right side, if y'all didn't know, within on your mixer, it does make a difference. It does matter. So this is the timpani, and this is what it looks like. Cool. So all I really did was just boosted up this part right here that's at the bass, which is the impact. So then that way you can hear the harmonics and everything as it's fading out and stuff like that. And really, that's how you do that type of stuff. Wait a minute. Okay, I just ain't low enough for a second. So yeah, as y'all can see, the more I go through it, it's just different effects. Certain instruments that I was using just to add more, you know, texture to it. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna bring y'all up close. At the end of the day, when it comes to mixing, really it's just all in your personal preference. So we're gonna go to let me show y'all something real quick. All right, so let me switch this back over real quick. So if we look over here to, I think it's this part right here, the very expressive part right here. And it's all just, it is notes and stuff. But bro, I'm telling you, it's really all in just this part right here, this channel volume, and just expressing it. The more expression, the more build-ups, all of that stuff just adds more emphasis to what you're doing instead of just having it just at one consistent level. Like even when y'all listen to singers, when they sing, they don't just sing that one note. Like they'll probably put a vibrato or something on it, but at the end of the day, they're not just singing that one note. You know what I'm saying? You got to add more emotion and more feeling to it. Even stuff like that even makes it seem like the mix is even crazier just off of that. But we're gonna go to, like I said, this was with the trumpet right here. Let's go over here. And that was like a modulation into from C into the key of F sharp, I believe. So everybody may be thinking like, oh shoot, like how did you manage to do all of that? Like it's just emotions, bro. Just adding textures, adding emotions, velocities, all of that stuff. And I really didn't have an idea of where to go with this. It's just a matter of just doing it, and then it just happens. But like I said, all of this stuff, like some of the stuff I was using was the same reverb. Because the main thing I try to focus on when it comes to reverb and delay is I don't use the same exact Well, I do use the same exact reverb and delay, but I try not to drift off into like a whole nother reverb type of plugin. Like even when I was using the Fruity Convolver, I tried to at least tuck that in the back because that's for the overall mix. And then I try to just keep that low so then everything else can still stand out the way it is. But you know, it still adds a little bit more color to it. But yeah, other than that, like stereo separation, Baby Comeback 2, Valhalla reverb, delay 2, the parametric EQ, Pan Man, the good hertz, and all of this stuff, like even this compressor right here, you don't necessarily need it. Even if you feel like you do need a compressor, you can go right over here to Fruity Compressor and you can just put the same type of settings, at least for what the threshold, the ratio. Like you can put all this stuff at the same velocity. All you gotta do is keep switching back and forth between these two to figure out, okay, how can I keep everything that I'm doing at the same level and just switching over basically the settings to a whole nother plugin. And that's when you just want to play this. Like, okay, that's how that sounds. And then just try to match them up until it sounds the exact same way, or at least close to that, to the exact same way. But yeah, just a lot of finding like little textures, like the wind blowing and stuff. That was from my Patreon kit. It's called Cook, and that's on my Patreon. So you can take, you can take that and do what you want to do. And yeah, the kit's free. Yeah, this live is gonna stay up. It's gonna stay up on the channel. That's what I'm gonna just start doing. I'm gonna start doing videos that's like this way for real, to see if y'all enjoy them more often, so y'all can see the whole entire process. Because everybody's been talking about like they feel like they don't really see everything. So I was like, I'll probably just go live and do videos this way, and then y'all could just ask questions. Like I said below, just say, hey, like what about this part? What about this? Da 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 da. And then that way y'all could be able to see the whole process, see what I do. You can see all the little parts and stuff. Just giving y'all the whole entire thing basically. But yeah, that's how you end up, just mixing for real. It's funny. It's literally just a matter of just using sounds that sound good and they complement each other. Even like the where's it at? The swooshes right here. It was constant swooshes. And the reason I picked that area to do that is because I wanted to have that motion of like marching or people moving or whatnot. So it's just like, ooh. And then it's just like a feeling of relief or whatnot when you get to that one part. So having just an idea, or at least just starting on something, and from that point on just being able to do whatever you're doing and then mix as you go. That's another thing too that even TB was talking about in one of his videos. So if you haven't seen the video, this is one of the videos that you guys should definitely watch. This is one of them. Then here's another one as well, so you can watch all of these videos.
Bass is use a plugin called Sausage Fattening. All this is just a little saturated plugin, and I'm just turning the fatness up a little bit.
So you can.
So I went ahead and just added a little counter melody with the vocals, and this is what it sounds like.
So yeah, these are some old videos. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. But these are videos that y'all could watch to be able to even break down more about how to do certain things with effects, how to do your mixing and stuff like that. But literally this whole thing is mainly for like a movie score. That's the whole point. And like I said, it took months to be able to just mix the stuff down and use the right instruments. So of course I want you guys to be able to come and look at it for yourselves to know exactly, okay, like it's not a lot to mixing. It's just really just using the right sounds, picking the right set of like textures and stuff, really just, yeah, finding the right stuff for real. That's what helps with the whole mixing process and leveling. It's a lot of this stuff is just leveling, bro. It's leveling. That is the only really honest mixing that you have to do, is just leveling. You don't have to go into no EQ or nothing. Just level it out so everything sounds at the right velocities and in the right levels. So, did y'all have any questions real quick, or y'all was good? I think everybody's mainly good. So listen, if y'all do enjoy it, like, I'll probably end up going into more depth about this, probably a little bit later on, and I'll probably end up doing another tutorial. But if y'all can let me know down below, and if y'all rather me do these type of breakdowns and like just doing this live, and y'all can see exactly what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, just let me know down below in the comments, for real. And also, whatever part in here that you felt like you learned something that you didn't know before, make sure to put that down below in the timestamp as well to let me know. But at the end of the day, like I said, this is not getting edited, so y'all gonna see everything. You could be able to break down whatever you want to break down and see exactly how I did whatever I did. Even if you got questions, also put those down below in the comments as well. Any type of questions, anything y'all want me to do next, like anything. I think I'm gonna just start doing stuff on the live from now on for y'all, and just upload them as a whole entire video so y'all can see what I do. But yeah, I am going to, let me look at the comments real quick. But yeah, if y'all got any questions, or like if y'all just want to stay in contact with me or anything like that, or ask whatever it is, just definitely tap into the Discord. Like, check out the links that's all down below. And yeah, I guess I will just see y'all another day. Yeah, it's a fast stream. Like, it's not gonna be up here. I'm not gonna be up here all that long. I just want to literally come up here, show y'all something. Like, it doesn't have to me, in my opinion, you can show me one thing, something that I learned new, and it's like, okay, this video became something valuable to me. So that's what I literally want y'all to do. Just value this video, bro, and just learn from it, and just really dissect everything that's been going on this whole time. But let me show y'all one more thing. If you didn't know, if you have this type of problem where you see all of these audio files, you got to go through each one of these and you got to stretch them, like, nobody's trying to do all of that. So to save you some time, let me switch this camera. All right, so you got all these audio files right here, and you're not gonna go here and try to restretch, you know, and yeah, what is it? I think it's called restretch. No, it's called stretch. And I know you're not gonna go ahead and try to stretch everything. So you can just go up here to the options. No, you go up here to tools, you go to macros, and all you're doing is just switch all audio clips to real-time stretching. And all this does is take all the audio files that you got, and it's gonna stretch them. So now you can adjust the tempo without everything stretching out or getting smaller or any type of time manipulation or anything like that. So literally, you could just take out the time to be able to do this stuff yourself. But if you didn't know that, then at least you know now. So I'll put it like that. If you guys, like I said, if you guys enjoying this, bro, comment down below. I'm gonna keep this video on YouTube so y'all can be able to come back and look at it for yourselves. But mixing, mastering, the only thing you have to focus as a producer, as a music producer, is really just the leveling. You can leave the mixing and the mastering up to the engineer. That's what they supposed to be doing, you know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to be sitting there trying to do their job, you feel me? Like, let them do what they do, and yeah, just let them do what they do, bro. But you just do what you gotta do as far as just the leveling, making sure everything sits within the mix as best as it can. Other than that, I'm out of here, bro. It's a real quick stream. I'll probably end up doing this again, but I will definitely see y'all on the flip side. So deuces.